Bank teller. Throws black man's ID on the floor. 2.3b partnership ends in silence. Before we dive into this story, hit the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's see how far this story reaches. If you like the video, please subscribe. Tat walked into the bank dressed sharply, confidence in his stride, and with documents worth billions in hand. But what happened next stopped the room cold. A bank teller, without even looking up, tossed his ID on the floor as if he were invisible. Whispers filled the air, phones paused mid-scroll, and judgment wrapped itself around the walls like smoke. What no one realized was that this black man wasn't just another customer. He was minutes away from finalizing a $2.3 billion partnership with the very institution now humiliating him. And with one glance, he made a decision that left the bank in stunned silence. Julian Mercer was the kind of name whispered in boardrooms and printed in Forbes lists. A self-made tech mogul, Julian built his company, NovaCrest Solutions, from the ground up, turning a small cybersecurity idea into a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. After months of negotiations, Julian had finally chosen a national bank as NovaCrest's official financial partner, a deal worth $2.3 billion in transactions, investments, and exposure. He wasn't flashy. No entourage, no media, just a man with purpose and power walking into a downtown branch for a final in-person meeting with the branch manager. It was supposed to be a formality, a handshake, but what he got instead was a reminder that, in some eyes, power still wears a face they don't expect. As Julian approached the counter, a young white teller barely glanced up. "ID," she said flatly, chewing gum and scrolling her screen. Julian handed over his identification and account documents with quiet courtesy, but as she examined it, her demeanor shifted. Not with professionalism, but with disdain. She flicked the card back toward him. It fell, clattering against the marble floor. He stood still, stunned. So did others nearby. "You people always say, 'You're someone you're not,'" she muttered. The air changed. Julian didn't pick up the ID. He didn't argue. He didn't raise his voice. He looked at her for a long, measured moment. Then he pulled out his phone, typed a few words, and pressed send. Upstairs in the boardroom, a team of executives awaiting his arrival received a terse email. "NovaCrest will no longer be proceeding with this partnership. Please consider the matter closed." The room froze. Calls were made. Apologies prepared. Moments later, the branch manager rushed down to the lobby in a panic. "Mr. Mercer, I had no idea. Please, there's been a mistake. We can talk upstairs." But Julian remained calm. The manager tried to explain that the teller was new, that this didn't represent the company, and that they had already called legal to see if anything could be salvaged. Julian looked at him with a calmness sharper than rage. "If this is how you treat a stranger," he said, "you're not ready to be entrusted with a partnership that reaches across nations." The teller, now realizing who he was, stood frozen. The manager's eyes dropped to the floor. Julian turned and walked, out without another word. That same afternoon, NovaCrest's social media quietly announced a new partnership with a competitor bank known for its equity and diversity efforts. Within hours, financial headlines ran with the story. The bank's stock saw a dip. Internal emails flooded with damage control plans, PR statements, and HR reviews. But the damage was already done. The teller was let go that week, not as a scapegoat, but as a symbol of how systemic failure can surface in the smallest of actions. Julian, when later asked by reporters why he walked away from such a major deal, said only this: "Respect is not negotiable, and when people show you who they are, believe them the first time." His decision didn't just end a deal, it ignited a deeper conversation about quiet racism in places where it hides behind desks and policy. If you enjoyed this story and thought it provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Take care.